Dr. Bob Posner, welcome to my living room.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you for coming on today. Where are you Zooming in from?
I'm in Northern Virginia, about 30 minutes away from DC, Fairfax County.
Wow, wow. Well, the object of the interview today is very timely because you are here to tell us how to avoid stress eating during these very trying times, and they are trying for a multitude of reasons.
Absolutely. I think first it's important to understand the reasons why we stress eat. Some of those are actually chemical. When we're under stress, we deplete certain chemicals in our bodies, such as cortisol, as well as serotonin. And when you have these changes in these chemicals, oftentimes it makes us crave those food sources that provide the immediate gratification, which unfortunately are the foods that put weight on us.
Yeah, too bad we can't crave broccoli during stress, right?
No, this has again something to do with a chemical in the brain called serotonin. I think women more than men can appreciate what it's like to have certain times in their cycles when they're craving those carbohydrates. It's due to serotonin imbalance. So fighting off those cravings is really difficult to do. Hence the reason why high protein, low carb dietary plans are difficult to follow when we're craving those carbohydrates.
So I know your weight loss plan is literally called the Serotonin Plus Weight Loss Program. So tell me what you provide for your clients.
Yeah, our program is a comprehensive program, so we're not about just giving pills to people by any means. I think it's really important that when people try to lose weight, they have to be rewarded with a lot of weight loss quickly. Not that's important medically, it's important psychologically. Because if a person's losing those 2 or 3 pounds or 4 pounds a week, they really get into it. So we provide a couple of pills. One's a prescription, and the other is a natural serotonin supplement that I developed that helps reduce carb cravings.
Wow. What's in these pills?
Yeah, well, one of the prescriptions what we use is it's been around for 60 years. It's an FDA-approved appetite suppressant that increases metabolism and decreases appetite. I'm sure every woman watching this over the age of 25 could appreciate what it's like to have the metabolism change. The serotonin supplement is unique. I developed this a number of years ago, got a patent on it. It helps take away cravings for those carbohydrates. So as we're asking people to follow a high protein, low carb dietary plan, these pills make it a lot easier to see success.
Any restrictions on who can take those pills?
Sure, if somebody has an abnormal heart rhythm, we're going to be careful about prescription medication. The serotonin supplement is very safe, but we're very careful with people when they enter our program to evaluate them medically to make sure they're good candidates for the program. And we've now put over 24,000 people through the program very safely.
So I'm assuming this is nationwide. So I'm in the New York, New Jersey area. I know you're in Virginia. So how does that work? How does someone watching from my area enroll in the program?
Telemedicine. So what we do is we have a telemedicine. We were doing telemedicine before the pandemic, so we're very used to working with people through telemedicine. So if anybody's interested, I'd be happy to do. And we offer free consultations for people. I get a one-on-one with a person to find out more about their medical issues and whether the program's right for them. And that's how we do it. So it's through telemedicine. That's how we can help people in New York and New Jersey. Plus, I'm originally from New York, so I can certainly keep up pace-wise speaking with anybody from New York.
Where in New York are you originally from?
I actually grew up in Queens and went to medical school in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow, you have no accent.
Yeah, I've been out of New York for a number of years, but when I go to reunions with my college friends in SUNY Binghamton, I hear accents that are like, oh my God, that's a pretty cool accent. I miss my accent.
Oh, yeah.
The area.
So you have the supplements. You were talking about, low carb, high protein diet. Do you offer clients an actual diet to follow?
Yeah, I'm a really strong believer that a dietary approach needs to be done with real food. There's a lot of programs out there that are selling shakes and bars and powders and pre-packaged meals, and those are diets. We're very clear with our patients that long-term weight control is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it must be done with real food because that's what we'll be eating the rest of our lives.
Yeah. How do you feel about the keto and paleo diets? And, because I try and stay away from grains. Being Italian, it's hard because I'm just wired to want them. But, there's a lot of, almond flour, cassava flour, alternates. But I also find too that if I eat too much of that stuff, I feel very inflamed. So where can someone like me strike that balance?
Yeah, at the end of the day, what I'll call real protein is really good for weight control. So things like eggs and chicken and fish, you know, even red meat, those are great for long-term weight control. We're hearing about the new keto diet. There's nothing new about that. Any dietary plan that's high protein, low carb is going to make you break down your body fat. During that biochemical process, when you're breaking down body fat to generate glucose, you spin off a chemical called ketone bodies, hence the name ketosis. So again, Atkins was ketotic, South Beach diet, my dietary plan in our program. So there's nothing new about ketogenic diets.
What about dairy? Can you have dairy on your program?
Yeah, dairy's allowed, absolutely. What we're encouraging it is all food groups, but at the end of the day, it's protein and vegetables that are truly your major friends, whereas fruits, carbs, fats, alcohol, unfortunately, and dairy are usually not great for weight control. But when we ever tell our patients you can't have a glass of wine, or you can't have a piece of bread or a dessert, absolutely not. It's about changing the balance of these food groups coming into you.
Talk about the successes that you've seen from patients all over the country that have been on your program.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great success rate. The key thing, our success rate, people laugh at this one, but it's true. Everybody in our program loses a lot of weight. But the key thing for keeping the weight off is post-program engagement. As an example, I write a blog every day for my patients that we email out to our patients, not once a week or once a month. Every day, our patients getting content. We do webinars. We really truly try to engage our patients in our social media platforms because at the end of the day, pills, dietary plans, those are all important, but there's nothing that beats support for long-term weight control.
What did you do with your clients during this quarantine period?
I put on a lot of webinars for them at night because I had to reassure them that stress eating thing became very problematic. There's reasons why we stress eat. Some of those are depletion of chemicals like against serotonin that makes us want to stress eat, immediate gratification, and the human body is very reflex in its behavior patterns. So when we're under stress or feel poorly, we reach for something quickly that makes us feel better. Now, unfortunately, those food sources that make us feel better immediately lead to weight gain. So we have to come up with delay mechanisms for people to think through the processes and then substitute other behaviors other than stress eating to try to reduce stress.
Yeah. I mean, the beauty of quarantine is that it really gave you the time to break a bad habit, right?
In one way, yes, but then you look at people's screen time and watching shows and streaming videos, and if you look at the shelves in the grocery stores, you weren't seeing broccoli disappear. You were seeing the candies, aside from toilet paper, the candies and the pasta and frozen pizzas all gone.
So say you were one of those that gains the COVID-19, right?
Yep.
And now we're coming out of quarantine. It's now summer. What do you recommend that those people do to get back on track?
Well, they need to start following a much higher protein and lower carb dietary plan. And again, whether it be our program or somebody else's, support and perhaps the help of medications and supplements can be helpful in the process. And I also want to say something that's very important, is that the next wave of COVID is going to come back. And when that happens, we want to not be a high-risk person. And the data from all the studies in America were showing that the people at high risk for serious COVID illness, all those risk factors were revolving around weight. It was high blood pressure, diabetes, lung disease. All of these things are weight-related comorbidities. So now is time to get really serious about weight control.
Yeah, and staying away from sugar, alcohol, those things, they suppress the immune system. So that's very important to stay away from those key items.
Absolutely. You mentioned alcohol. I mean, again, we don't tell our patients you can't have a glass of wine or a beer. What we're saying is that we have to limit the amount of alcohol because alcohol reduces metabolism. It's not just the calories of alcohol, it lowers metabolism. And as you mentioned, it lowers the immune system as well.
Yeah. And I know, I really don't drink anymore just for the sole, reasons that you just said. And also too, for me, it makes me really crave the bad food, right? The bagels and, bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel or, greasy pizza, so it's not even worth it.
Yeah, as you're saying, is alcohol also takes away, as you're saying, judgment, because when we let the intellectual part of the brain take over, it makes us think about our behavior patterns. So if we take a few second delay and say, wait a minute, this food source I'm going to eat, it's not going to really reduce stress. It's only add to my stress because I'm going to put weight on. If we think things through for a few seconds, we'll we won't do the behavior pattern. Whereas alcohol will lower our inhibitions. We won't really think much about it and then do the behavior pattern that puts weight on, aside from the alcohol.
Yeah. Well, this was so great. I'm so happy that we did this so last minute. Thank you, Cher. Where can people find out more about you and to sign up for the program?
Well, thank you. We have a website, it's Dr. Bob Posner, all one word, drbobposner.com. And we also have a website called SP Diet, which, by the way, spdiet.com has a serotonin balance survey on there. So if you want to get a free survey done to see if you have a serotonin imbalance, go to spdiet.com and fill out that survey. It's for free, of course. Okay, and check that out.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for keeping so many of us healthy and fit and trim during this.
You're welcome. It's a passion. We want to keep people healthy and stay away from anything serious with the COVID virus and all these other comorbidities, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.